like I promised, I found out some news on Stephanie Soares today for Iowa State women's basketball. It's not good news. It's a torn ACL. I hate to see it. I really, really do. Because regardless who it is, ACLs are just the toughest things to come back from. I don't know that from personal experience, but my cousin tore ACL a few times, and I know a friend that's playing in an Australian league right now, and completed her first year in the WNBA this past year. Tore ACL 3 times within the last 4 years. And Christy Wallace from Baylor. I hate to see that, and I can't imagine seeing that in person for all those fans there going down for the during the game with an injury in the first quarter. But I'm going to explain the loss. She was the second leading scorer on the team. And first of all, she's 6'6" at center. So that's just to keep in mind here. She averaged 14.4 points per game. She's sent from Sao Paulo, Brazil as a senior. I think she does have a COVID year, but I'm not positive. 9.9 rebounds per game. 3 blocks per game. 2.8 turnovers per game. 11 for 36 on threes, which is 30.6%. 28 for 42 on free throws. 2.2 fouls per game. That's explaining all the stats right there. So, this isn't good news because she's the second leading scorer, first of all. She's the best front court player, too. Not counting out Ashley Jones, but she's a guard. I mean, now they're going to have to probably rely on Neymar Dew, that 6'2" forward that's a junior now, averaging 4.2 points per game now. Besides Morgan Kane and Izzy Zigaro. That's just naming 2 other players in the front court. And we know Ashley Jones is really, really good as a 6th and 5th year player. So, yeah, she was the leading block person in blocks for the year with 3. Everyone else, 0.7 or less. Yikes. But I will say, she was the second most in turnovers per game, though. If I'm being completely honest. Whether or not how the good Iowa State's going to do the rest of the year, I really, truly don't know. But I know the Big 12 is tough. Yes, I know I know that Texas isn't receiving votes anymore. But still, they're not going to be easy out. Same goes for Kansas State. I mean, they're without Aoka Lee. And in terms of their size on the roster, nobody is close. Sure, they have Beatrice Jardot retired from the game. So you can't really count her anymore. So they have Morgan Kane at 6'3", Izzy Zagaro at 6'4". Sure, they have Maggie Vick that's 6'2", Morgan Kane at 6'3", and Neymar Dew or something like that. I apologize if I butcher that last name or first name, but that's 6'2". So everyone else on their team is 6'4" or shorter. Yeah, that's a big difference. It's not like a huge advantage anymore. They have Kansas State coming up, and yes, that's in Ames, but that's not going to be easy. Now it's a more wide open game. The same thing goes for Texas. I know Texas has been struggling some more this year than they were expected, but I knew preseason top 3 didn't make sense. And as the season went on, it proved it. That's not going to be an easy game on the road at that. They have Oklahoma State that's 11-4. They beat Texas, so they got Kansas, and Kansas has 6'6" Tiana Jackson. That's going to be a problem in that game. So I'm not going to. The only game I would technically say is a surefire win, but it's not. I know in theory it's on the road to TCU within the next 5 here. And TCU 6-8, they're just pesky on defense, and that's all they are. They're just a struggle bus offensively. Then they have Oklahoma again, but this time in Ames. The following game after TCU. But the problem is, Oklahoma already beat them once already, so they could certainly lose twice to them. They have on the road to Kansas State, then they host Baylor again. But Baylor is on the roll right now. That's just. And they have West Virginia on the road. That's not going to be easy. Texas again, but this time it's in Ames, so it's still not a gimme game. Of course, Baylor on the road, that's not going to be a gimme game anyway. Oklahoma State on the road, that's not going to be a gimme game. TCU is the gimme game, and they're going to play them again, but this time in Ames. So, and the last 2 games of the season are at Kansas. That's not going to be easy. Texas Tech, that's 13-3. That could be inflated a little bit because of these records for some of these teams. But I'm just saying the rest of the schedule, with exception to TCU, there's no gimme games on the schedule. Granted, I know Texas Tech could be inflated on their record. Same thing goes for Kansas State and West Virginia. But the Big 12 is just tough. Where they're going to finish in the Big 12, I have no earthly idea. But it wouldn't shock me in the slightest if Iowa State would lose once this week. Maybe even twice. It wouldn't shock me. We'll have to wait and see what really happens, though. Because for all I know, they could rally around. And now it's next player up mentality for them. They have no choice. They're going to basically be like last year's team all over again. Without that size of Stephanie Soares. And a good one at that, with that size. Anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys later. It's going to 500 subscribers. We're on the road to it. Let's go.